So, welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest turned her skincare struggles into a movement for melanin-rich skin. She is the founder of Texture, a brand built for people of color who deserve products designed with them in mind. From hyperpigmentation to irritation, her results-driven formulas deliver solutions that mainstream beauty products often ignore. A storyteller, entrepreneur, and wellness advocate, she's building a community where confidence and authenticity shine. By day, she works in tech. Cannot wait to hear more about that. And by heart, she is a creator of connection. I can tell you from me just speaking to her, that is so true. Please help me welcome the radiant Aida Touré. Welcome, Aida.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me, Angel. It's a pleasure and a blessing to be here.
Well, I'm just super excited to have you. Our team have talked to you on and off about getting on, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're going to have so much fun with her. She's so excited. It's going to be a total blast." I said,
Wow.
"Okay."
I appreciate that. Yes, I since I saw you guys and I got in contact with your team, I couldn't wait to be in here. I love everything that you guys are building. So thank you again.
Thank you. All right. So you're in tech. You do tech
Mhm.
right now.
Yes.
I want to know what flipped the switch to want you to build the skincare line. And I mean, you're still working. So I want to know what caused this because I mean, what causes somebody to say, "I'm just going to be an entrepreneur because you know what? I can do it."
That's a great question. So, yes, I do work in tech, in financial software, I do customer training and content development. And yes, you're right. You don't just decide to become an entrepreneur like that. It's actually something, that crossed my mind a few years ago. I was still in school and I went to study business and entrepreneurship. And I would always be so attracted and drawn to everything that was project related and building something from scratch and being creative and thinking out of the box. And since I'm a kid, I've always had that just entrepreneurial mind. But I just decided to brush it off and focus on a stable career. Having my my checks every 2 weeks and building something, but on the side was something that came in my mind at about, I want to say 2 years ago when I was really tired of having dark underarms. So I'll tell the story later, but it really comes from a internal buildup of frustration and not being happy with the solutions that were out there. And because my job allows me to be flexible and kind of have my own schedule, I started by saying, hey, why not starting on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays? You have free time, build something that you are passionate about, something that actually fires you up, and let's see how it goes from there. So it was basically just an idea, and I got more and more into it, and so that's here how I am here right now.
That is amazing. I love that story because it's something that most people don't realize. Hey, work in the evenings doing it, work on the weekends doing it, have a little fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's mostly, when it's something that you're really into, it doesn't even feel like work. Like I would treat this as a little fun project, a hobby, and that from there I just started to be very serious and have an Instagram and posting on social media, and figured out that many women resonated with my messaging, and so it became more than just a side project.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fact that you've learned so much for as long as you've been around. How old are you, by the way? I'm being
I'm
nosy right.
28.
You're 28. So I want you to go back 10 years for me. Okay.
Yeah.
What you've learned in these 10 years, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
I love this question. 10 years ago, so when I turned 18, I was really, really frustrated for a few reasons. One, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was around people that were very smart, that had their whole career, lined up. They knew they wanted to be in finance. They knew they wanted to try politics. And here I was, not sure what I wanted to do. And I felt really pressured and lost. And I felt like I was behind, quite frankly.
Mhm.
Um, well, I clearly wasn't. At 18, you're still young and figuring out things. And I wish I could be back there and tell myself that it's okay. I'm going to figure it out. And everybody has their own lane and career. So I wish I had more confidence on knowing what I wanted to do, and also just in myself. I was self conscious about my underarms. Like I say a lot when I tell my story, it's something that have been struggling with since I'm a teen. And I would not raise my hands in class just because I hated the way my underarms looked and feel, especially during summer. I would avoid at all costs wearing sleeveless tops just because I would be so self-conscious. I wouldn't work out at the gym and lift stuff. It was taking a toll on me, and I was definitely lacking self-confidence. But I wish I could tell myself this insecurity that you have right now is going to be um, the tool that's going to make you so powerful and confident and give you the energy and the grit to build something powerful and meaningful.
Wow. Yeah, that is amazing because I really find that the pain that we have is if we just find the purpose to catapult something, we can catapult into a career or business or whatever it is. And I mean, I'm sorry, God didn't give us something to just sit there and not do anything. You are the one chosen to create this to make a difference in so many
Yes.
people's lives.
I really do believe that each one of us, and I'm sure you'd agree, but we all have a unique gift. I mean, the fact that we're all here, first of all, on this planet is like, what were the odds of you being you and all your unique experiences? And we all have such powerful backgrounds and stories
Mhm.
and, you know, talents and skills that we have to leverage them. The hard part is finding it because it's not obvious. You have to do your research and ask yourself the right questions.
Yeah, that's true. So, I go back and I look, okay, I was assistant editor in a magazine in junior high. I did some
Mhm.
other stuff in high school. And, I go and everything I've done in my life is all related to I was a court reporter. So I actually took down what people said and rewrote it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Of what they said. So and I've done so many other things that actually alluded to creating magazines. My husband and I own the marketing company and different things like that. And then when I was featured in a magazine, that's what flipped the switch. So it's the same thing. It's that what have you learned along the way and what caused the difference? What made a difference in your life?
100%. And you were already kind of doing it, right? It's like it's patterns, but are you able to recognize it and what, leads you up? And it's something you were so talented at and that you're just repurposing it now based on what you want to accomplish or grow and based on your vision. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And age doesn't matter, okay?
No,
Because you're 28 and I'm 61. Hello.
what? Oh my
So,
God.
and we both started the same thing about a year ago. So,
Yeah.
know that guys that it's okay, you
I was going
know?
to say you look amazing. I would have never guessed that you're 61, by the way. You look
Thank
like
you.
10, 15 years younger.
So sweet. Are you so sweet? All right. So talking those were game changers for both of us. But,
Yes.
so what and I know there's stuff in my life, but what is something that you actually did so far in your business that maybe somebody said, "Oh, don't do," but it was a game changer for you and helped you grow?
For me, the game changer so far is because obviously I'm 8 months in. I'm like still I'm in the very, very early stages, but I've heard a lot of no's and a lot of people just not being enthusiastic and not understanding the vision. So it's been a lot of just instead of saying, you know, maybe they're right. Like people are not going to understand. They're going to think it's just a deodorant, and a deodorant is kind of, people use it just for auto control. They won't want to have it for skincare benefits. It's a lot of education, yada yada yada. So it's like cutting the noise for me as being a game changer so far. And I'm sure there's going to be other insights as I go through this journey, but it's just like being focused on my vision and how I see it, because it's so crystal clear in my head. But it's like surrounding myself with the right people has been really important to take my journey to the next level. Attending events, connecting with women like you, with communities like yourself that get it and that want to uplift people like me, and just not listening to the no's and the people even that are close to you. Like it could be family or friends that just are not as supportive as you thought they would be. Just don't get that let in your head, and just keep moving forward. And it's a mental game for me at the moment, so just rewiring and reframing my brain, and that has been a game changer. I have to
Yeah.
say.
I'm glad you brought that up, because rewiring your brain, because maybe the people in your circle are
Yeah.
not seeing your vision, and you just have to stay steadfast and just look straight ahead and go, okay, that's the end game. I'm going to get there. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, exactly. I also realized that the circle, that the people you surround yourself with obviously have a big impact on how you see yourself and what you want to build. So it was so important for me to just completely like kind of reassess who I was hanging around with and who I was telling my ideas to, because people wouldn't resonate if you're not in the same mindset, right? So
Yeah.
that's so important.
Definitely. All right. So, talking about mindset, so
Hmm.
many people go into entrepreneurship thinking, oh, this is the way it's going to be. We're going to skip D2 dot, whatever it is, whatever that thought pattern is. What is a myth that you wish most entrepreneurs would like kick it to the curb? Because, maybe you walked into it thinking, oh, this is how it's going to be. And you realized, oh, Lord, I shouldn't have listened to that.
No, yeah, 100%. I love this question because we tend to glamorize, being an entrepreneur, and just like thinking it's all glamour and it's easy and it looks good. And people want to be called entrepreneurs now. There's almost like a hype to it. And it's not that at all. It's messy, and it can be ugly. You're going to cry and doubt yourself and wonder if you're making a big mistake, and having people trying to tell you don't do that, like just stay stable. You just have to be aware that entrepreneurship is hard. Like I don't want to sugarcoat it. I feel like people need to be aware of that. It's not easy, and I wish more people would stop thinking it's all about just like posting yourself and looking pretty and selling a pretty product. There's so much more going behind it, and a lot of self-doubt. That's something I've struggled with, and I'm glad that I have a support system now that gets it, but it's not pretty at all. It's a struggle sometimes, but you gotta, like we talked about before, gotta stay focused and have the vision. I love to visualize things, so I have my vision board where I see where I want to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, exactly how I want my brand to look like, which retail store I want to be at, how I want to talk about it, and so that keeps me going.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the mindset, because you will run into struggles, you will hit walls, you will get in a mess.
Yeah, you
Just the
will.
mindset to like keep you going. And
Exactly.
pivoting works. It's okay if you have to pivot and wiggle a little bit. It happens.
It happens all the time, and I feel like
Mhm.
it's actually part of the game nowadays. It's all about being lean and flexible and gathering customer feedback. And for example, I recently had a few early customers saying, hey, like I would love if the texture was a little different, or I would love another scent, or I would love no scent at all because I have very sensitive skin. So it's all about hearing it and incorporating it and testing it and iteration. So
Mhm.
just treat it as a game.
Yeah, and you have a physical product, so yeah, it's a
We do.
constant going through and making sure everything's working properly.
Exactly.
So with
Yes.
all the craziness of business and all the chaos that can happen in business and working still a full-time job, all
Yeah.
right? And dealing with family, friends, boyfriend, life, everything, how do you balance it?
I love that, Angel. Thank you for asking me this because that's something I still struggle with, to be honest. I was telling you earlier when we were chatting, I just had my family coming and visit me, and I get to see them maybe once or twice a year because they're most of them are in Europe, and it's all about balance. To me, isn't about doing everything. It's really giving yourself some permission to be fully present when it's time. So it's more about seasons. Some seasons demand more time for your job. Some seasons demand more time for your health. Some seasons demand more time for your relationship. And it's all about knowing when to pour, and also like taking the time to pour into yourself and not forgetting that you also need, to reset, to be a better, to show up better for the people you love, for your business, and for everything else. So I want to say, for me, I treat balancing as seasons, like I said, right? So now that the family's gone, I feel like I'm recentered and I'm pouring into my business because this is the season for it.
Yeah.
And it applies to every other areas of your life. That's how I see it.
Yeah, there's a season for one thing and a season to grow, a season to plan, a season for everything, and that's exactly it. A season for family, a season not.
Right? Yes. I don't think balance is a thing when you are really focused on something. Like you're gonna have to spend more time doing this. And this is my season right now for my business, and it's okay if I don't go out as much, or if I make some sacrifice on the side, as long as I don't forget to also pour into those friendships or maintaining these relationships that matter to me as well. But it's all a matter of like, where are you right now in life, and what should you be focusing on to achieve your vision. So
Yep, I
how I
love
see
that. All right, let's talk about getting started. All right.
it.
We have somebody a lot like you. They already have a full-time job. They're steady as I don't know what, but they have this deep down gut thing knocking at them going, you really need to do this. What
Mhm.
advice would you give them?
Well, again, that was literally me 8 months ago, like less than a year ago. I've been thinking and thinking about this idea, and I was too scared because I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted the font and the shade and the design and the colors to be perfect. And I feel like that's what many entrepreneurs or people that want to be entrepreneurs and start their business and just take the leap of faith, they kind of get stuck on this, is like it's not going to be perfect enough, or I don't look right or good enough to be on camera, or always thinking about things that are actually hindering them from taking that leap of faith. So I want to tell everybody that's thinking about it to jump, and that it's going to be um fun, messy adventures at first, but you're going to figure it out. And as you figure it out, you're going to have confidence and bring confidence as well to yourself. I'm telling you, I hated social media. I don't like recording myself. I don't like being on camera. And for me, that was a struggle at first, but I learned to just do it every day and to be comfortable with it. And now I feel so confident, and I'm here talking with you. But it's a work in progress, and I feel like for everyone that wants to do it, is don't overthink it. Start small, post that first post, create that Instagram page, post that story, start with a conversation, an article, something that would get you out there, that would make you feel like you're taking that first leap of faith. It doesn't have to be big, and then you're going to adjust with time.
Yep. That is a must. That is what happens across the board. Just jump. It don't have to be perfect. Am I right, Ida?
You don't have to, it doesn't have to be. There's no such thing as perfection, right? Like, in the first place. And people, you know what? People actually enjoy seeing you, especially now on social media. They love to be part of it. They love to see you grow, and they love to see your journey. And if you can build that community, and also like just share with people and let people into that glimpse of your life, then it's actually going to make it easier for you, because you'll see strangers cheering up for you and rooting for you, and that's big.
Yeah, that is big. All right, give me a sneak peek into the future. What's happening?
What's happening with texture, like I said, so we are basically the brand that want to open the conversation about what we call taboo skin, right? So the skin that we hide, whether it's because we're ashamed of it, or we're not feeling comfortable, there's a lot of insecurities coming from it. We want to open conversations about it and building community. So be ready to see us on our feed, on our For You pages, on your Instagrams and TikToks, because we're really making this something big that the quite frankly, the beauty industry has kind of overlooked, because we focus on the face, the neck, the hands maybe, but not so much about the bikini line or the underarms, or back knee, things that are not so glamorous. And we kind of want to bring that freshness and that new lens into beauty. So what's next is we're going to expand into other areas. We started with underarms, but we want to really expand into other body parts. Like I said, but like an ingrown hair gel for your bikini line, or some spray and mist to prevent acne on the chest or the back, and things that are not necessarily glamorous, but are going to be big with what we're launching for sure.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
that's
because
it
that
for me.
happens. It happens, and people, it's something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it is. And you'd be surprised how many, I've talked to a lot of women. I watched a lot of videos, and even on social media, people talking about how there's a stigma around it.
Mm.
Some women actually calls hyperpigmentation the black or the brown girl. I forgot the name that she used, but basically a curse, the brown girl curse, because she grew up with having hyperpigmentation around her mouth, or on her knees and elbows, and she always felt so self-conscious about it. So people talk about it, but are still a little bit ashamed. And I want to break that, like open the conversation around it.
Wow, that's amazing. Because that is, I mean, I grew up with freckles, so I understand getting teased, and I
Mhm.
have a very big hyperpigmentation at the bottom of my buttocks where my mom used to lay. It's really dark, and my mom, when you would grocery, people would go, "Oh, I think she messed on herself." She would lick her hand and wipe it and go and look at gang.
No way. See, that type of story, I love hearing that, because it's things that everybody has, like, but not necessarily talk about. And this is something that happened when you were a kid, and you still remember vividly. And I love, I would love if women could share more of these.
Yeah, she tells the story, so that's how I know. Because obviously, I was being held in a diaper or something, you know?
That's a great story, though. I would say it too to everybody if I could.
You can take my story, it's fine.
Love it.
All right, unexpected, tell us something that would
Ooh.
surprise us about you.
Okay. Well, if you know me, if my boyfriend was here, he would like nod his head. I'm a big, big, big dancer and a singer. So if you don't know me, you think I'm an introvert, because I tend to listen more than I talk. And in a group setting, I'm not the one that's gonna be super loud. But I dance every day. Like that's my therapy. I every day I dance. I sing since I'm a kid. I grew up with music, and so people are usually surprised to hear that because I don't. I guess when you see me, you don't think of me as being dancing all the time. I usually did. Actually, when I was a kid, I did modern jazz dance. I also did hip hop. I love salsa, bachata, and everything that just moves your body. Because to me, it's such a great way to express yourself and just to heal. So I do dance and sing every day.
That is amazing. Well, I'm not a singer, but I am a dancer. So there you go.
What type of dance are you into?
Well, I used to dance in school, first off. So yeah, I can dance, but I actually love hip hop, Zumba right now. I mean, I love those things. One of my
Amazing.
goals is ballroom dancing. I really want to get into swing. I think it would be just so much fun. My husband looks at me
Yes.
and goes, "Yeah, okay."
Get him to do it with you. It's
he's
fun.
not, he's not going to do it, but yeah, that's on like the radar to do. So yeah. All right. Pump up music. Come on, give me some music. We already know you sing, so give me some song or songs.
Okay, well, I listen to all genres from classical to hip hop to reggae to uh, rap, you name it. My song though that fires me up, it's an old song. I mean, I wasn't even born yet. It was Cool and the Gang, Straight Ahead.
Yeah.
That's my song, Straight Ahead. And basically it's like whenever I feel down a little bit, I'm like, put this on, and the song tells you to whatever's going on in your life, basically keep moving straight ahead, keep going, just do it. And I always try to remind myself this is like as long as you take little steps, it doesn't have to be big, but do something and keep moving straight ahead. Don't really pay attention to anything negative or people that are not really getting you or are trying to pull you down. Don't listen to that and just keep moving straight ahead. So that's one of my song that I put on whenever I want to feel energized and ready and conquer the world. That's my
Cool
pump
in
up
the
song.
Gang. Cool in the Gangs was a fun group. I mean, they were amazing to listen to. They really
Yeah,
were.
and they
Yeah.
dance, and I love how they dance and their style too. I mean, it's great energy.
And they, if I'm remembering right, they used to be on Soul Train every
Yes.
Saturday morning, and that was my show. I had to have Soul Train on and dance in the living room to Soul Train.
Well, yeah, I wasn't around, but I watched YouTube videos when I was like a teen, and I was like, "You guys were so lucky to have that on TV. I wish I was there."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
So yeah,
god,
I get it. So yeah, so I had Soul Train on every Saturday. I was a Soul Train groupie. I can tell you that now.
love to hear it.
All right. Books that build you up or that you just love.
So one book that I read when I was in my early 20s was How Women Rise by Lisa Bilyeu. So she's this amazing woman that is very successful, and she helps women basically find the light within them and being super confident. So it's 10 lessons on becoming the hero of your own life, and it's basically changed my entire perception on how I'm seeing myself as an entrepreneur. She basically tells you you don't have to wait to feel confident. You have to just go after it and after what you want, and you're going to build a confidence along the way. And she has that. She's super. She just has you have. She also has a podcast, but she just her whole personality. She would lit up a room, and it just gave me the confidence to go and gave me permission to start imperfectly. Just trust the
Wow.
process and grow into the woman that I wanted to be. So that's a really really good book. Um, a second book that I like is How Women Rise. And this one I read when I was starting my job in tech. It's by Sally Helgeson. And basically, this gives you the tool to uh, basically remove the limiting beliefs that you have. So we all unintentionally have beliefs and thoughts that actually like hold us back from stepping into bigger opportunities. And so she breaks it down and gives frameworks and tools on habits that can help you be the woman that you want, and how you show up in business. So these are two really good books that I always recommend my best friends and my female friends. And even if you're not a female or you don't identify as a woman, just read it because it's life changing.
Awesome. All right. What about a quote or quotes?
Quotes that I actually have them written on my mirror. So whenever I wake up, I love to read them. The first one is those who win are those who think they can, by Richard Bach. So this to me speaks so loud because, again, it comes to the thought patterns and how you are thinking of yourself. And I love the brain. I'm a big nerd on the science behind, the fascinating science behind the thoughts, and the how you see yourself and how you show up in life. It all comes with the narrative that you tell yourself. So if you think you can win, then you have a higher probability of winning than if you think you cannot, right? Because can't, the word can't is so powerful as well. So if you tell yourself you can't do something, you won't do something. The second quote is, the best way to predict the future is to invent it, by Alan Kay. So, you don't know what's to be in the future, but everything that you see around you has once been a thought. It's someone that once thought about it and made it happen. So everything that you can perceive or envision or see in your mind, you can make it real. So if you want to build your future, just imagine it and envision it. I'm big on visualization and like taking actions towards it, but it's a game again of like, you can achieve your dream life. You just have to invent it. So those are my two favorite quotes.
I love it. All right. This is one of my favorite things, a
Mhm.
superpower for just 24 hours, one day. What would it be?
Again, I feel like I'm so into this, but like I told you before, I feel like so many people have, um, like especially women, they kind of limit themselves, and they're like, oh, I can't do this, or I don't have the skills, or just all these like negative thoughts. I wish nobody had that, and everybody would just be so confident in themselves, and they could achieve so much more, if they knew they could do it. And that's something that everybody should be aware of. It's just being positive, optimistic, and just not believing those negative thoughts, because at the end of the day, they're going to shape who you are. So I wish I could remove all these negative thoughts and patterns that everybody has for one day, to help them tap into their greatness and their higher selves.
Yep, you need a magic wand.
I need a magic wand, I know. Imagine all the wonderful things that would happen. So
Yeah, that
yeah.
would be so cool. All right. So, sometimes we do have a tendency to run on empty. Do you mind telling us what's something you do that motivates you? I know you dance and sing. But is there something else?
I do. So when motivation, I'm sure you can relate and enjoy. It's like, well, it comes and goes. It's some days it's up, some days it's down. So you can't be motivated all day, every day. We're humans after all. The thing you can do though is being consistent. Even though motivation is low, take a little step and show consistency, because that's also going to build your confidence. So if you run low on motivation, something I love to do is looking back at my journal entries when I was super high on motivation. Because when you're like super motivated, you're like, I'm going to accomplish this, and that's where I'm going to be in a year or 2 years, and this is what I want to work on. And I just go back to that because I journal a lot. I write articles as well, and I'm all about personal development. So I read that, and I write as well. And know that it's okay to not be motivated all the time. Like I said, we're not robots, so you have to find a time to reset. Just don't lose track of where you want to be, and remind yourself that it's okay also to just take some time for you. um, and yeah, that's, I would say, journal, do whatever works for you. If it's running, if it's dancing, if it's just laying in your bed and watching Netflix per day and eating a bag of chips, that's okay too.
That's reality. Thanks for being real, because that is reality. Sometimes you do need that. Okay.
We do, yeah.
All right. What is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
Yes, so I am on Instagram at Texture Skincare. I am on TikTok as Texture Skincare. I have a website, okay? It's textureskin.com. And you can go in there. I have everything laid up, lined up for you if you want to stay in touch. I have my contacts as well, info at textureskin.com. But I'm most active on my social media. I reply to every DM, every comments. I'm really tight with my community. So definitely the best way to stay in touch with me is, I would say, my via my Instagram.
So, if I'm not mistaken, though, don't you have a free downloadable guide for them that they can get?
Yes, I do. I do. So I have something that I've put up just for you. It's you can go on my website at textureskin.com, and if you scroll midway, you're gonna see a page, part of the website that says "Download your Beyond Deodorant Guide." So as soon as you click on that, it's going to redirect you and put your name and email, and basically you're going to have a free guide. So can't wait for you to have access to this and also give me a feedback and how what you learned from it. So I do have that available for you.
And tell us about the guide, because it's not just a do's and don't guide. You took a lot of stuff and put together with that with other people. Can you talk about that a
Yes.
little bit as well?
Yes, of course. So that guide I noticed, when I started building my product, is a lot of people didn't actually understand why they were having dark underarms and what's hyperpigmentation and what are they doing on a day to day that actually makes it worse. So it's comprehensive guide. It's basically a lot of steps. I partnered with people in the industry from a chemist that knows how deodorant work and how underarm serums works to a skin specialist as well. And so you're going to get a lot of cool information and what happens in your underarms, the skin, which is a very sensitive part of your body, right? People don't really know that, but you shouldn't just apply anything to it. And it's full of tips and routines and hacks and insights on how you can have better skin down there and just get rid of hyperpigmentation. So, actionable steps that you can start taking right away and very easy to read. It's about 20 pages with a lot of images. So, yeah, definitely go get it.
Yeah. All right. Textureskin.com. Go scroll down midway and you'll see a place to download your guide. So you're going to want to do that. All right.
Thank
Leave
you.
us with a mic drop moment, if you
Mm,
don't mind, and tell us about whatever you want that we didn't talk about,
a
Ida.
mic drop moment. Well, I touched a lot on confidence, but I want to say, especially because I'm living it right now as I'm early in the journey. But I want to say rejection is not a verdict, but it's redirection. So it's not the end of the road. Don't hear no and take it as a final answer. That's the difference between people that give up and the people that actually find a breakthrough. And you want to make sure that you don't take it personally, which is hard, especially when it comes from people that are close to you or you thought would support you. But I wish people and entrepreneurs and female that want to start wouldn't be so caught on rejection, because it's part of the game. Just see this as an opportunity to pivot, like you mentioned before, Angel, or like redirection. Keep listening to your gut instinct, gut feeling, because you only know what your vision is, and as long as you know and you stick to it, then it's gonna work. So that's my drop.
Thank you so much. All right, Ida. Mwah. It was a pleasure having you on. You're totally a blessing.
Thank you so much, Angel, for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Mhm. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.